we've got Russ's 67 Mustang Fastback, the engine bay. What we got going on here right now is it's been prepped for primer after being dipped and scrubbed, getting it bodywork. For that, we were kind of looking at it, and there's some extra holes. So you can see we've got holes taped, marked. That's all stuff that needs to get smoothed out, welded up, so that we can do the rest of our metal work. We've kind of evolved our process on Mustang engine bays. We're just trying to get it caught up to, where it needs to be. It's got a 515 horse small block stroker. So next step is to do a bunch of metal work. I might get the hood ready to take off, and I'm marking stuff out, taking pictures so it all goes back together. We're gonna get the hood pinned. What we do there is we drill 1/8" holes so that when it all goes back together, we can put those alignment pins through it, and the hood will go back exactly where it needs to. So it'll all fit, doesn't need to get adjusted. Everything goes back exactly where it's supposed to. So this one it's getting really close. We've got obviously some inside work to do here in the engine bay, but that's kind of the last inside thing we need to do. We'll do like the jambs of the panels and stuff and get them caught up before it's final prime. And boom, welded. So got a hole here, welded. There were 3 holes there, and instead of welding up just each little hole, I decided, let's just make a little plate for it. Cut those out, used the bottom of this hole, and then the edge of this hole, and then the top of that hole. Knocked out this hole, so it's a hole now instead of the knockout. Was gonna weld up these holes, but the more I looked, the more I thought, well, that looks like it might be an important hole for the brakes, so gonna leave those. I've gotta get these holes here welded up. Got little circles that get cut out when we do our little plasing stuff on the plasma table. Dig that out, and we've got a bunch of little circles. Just find one that fits and then weld her in.
EJ, been working on the engine compartment on the 67 Fastback Mustang. The spots that you see in the black DP, I still need a prime. Do a little body work on this end, but today I'll have this done. This body work, just need a 1/20th. This is body worked, I just need a 1/20th. That side is already 120. It'll be ready for a primer. I just need to get the basically the bottom of the frame sanded out so it can be ready for primer. Just a little more touch up on this side. Sand this with 120 and should be ready. We first have to final detail like the insides of the fenders, the hood. The hood inside also needs to get body worked a little bit, but that will be easier when the hood is off. We'll do the underneath with DP it and then Raptor. After it gets all blown apart and stuff like that, we'll do the Raptor, we'll paint the inside, and then it will be like getting the jams done on the Firebird and putting it, putting stuff back to where it's at and then painting the outside.
Here a week later, we've got the engine bay. It's been body worked, and we got the bare metal all sealed up so that we can build prime it. EJ did a great job getting all the sections done. I think last time it was getting body worked, but not quite there, and it's there now. Let our sealer sit over the weekend, get it scuffed up, get it masked up, and get it primed. We'll see it when it's white. We use our high build 4-to-1 polyester primer. Works really nice on bodywork sections. Blocks out real smooth, real nice. Once we're done with that, let it sit for a little bit, and pretty much gonna be ready for paint at that point. Being that this is one of our nicer restorations, might get that sanded through, and then urethane primer. It's a little bit thinner. It just stays nicer in the long run. Other than that, once we get that all on there and sanded through, it's gonna be blacked out. I think we'll probably end up doing the black after the outside, just because it's nicer. I think that's how we're gonna do it. We'll end up doing, I think, the engine bay after the outside, all nice and ready to go. But I'm not sure. Talk to Eric, get a plan on that. The engine bays can be pretty much ready for paint. I was working last week, got some of the edges cleaned up here, getting the hood all ready to pull off. I ended up pinning those in inconspicuous places so that we can get it back right where it was fitting before. We don't have to spend any time when it's in paint fitting it, but gaps are all nice. The hood over there off. Gonna do the underside of that, and then it'll end up going back on after we get this, or Don't want to mess up EJ's asking, but so we look over here, we can see kind of where some of the edge work has been done. We'll get that all smoothed out and clean, and then get the hood back on and make sure that we block across it just one more time before it's really ready to pull apart and onto paint. It's getting close. It's getting real close, but we still got to get it that extra mile, get it cut apart, make sure it's all good to go, ready to come apart, so we're not doing anything twice. It's gonna be nice. It's gonna be a beautiful car. Absolutely gorgeous car. So stay tuned for next time.